What is going on, everybody? We got live college playoff football tonight. Next.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
It's lunchtime. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunch with the Clydesdale. Cowboys back for a second day. We're going to talk about some CrossFit stuff, but I want to start it off with Ole Miss Miami tonight, 7:30 p.m. First playoff game of 8 this weekend. Win or go home games from tonight through Monday. And the Ole Miss Running Rebels, minus Lane Kiffin, are still alive in the Final Four of the college football playoffs. Lane's sitting there in LSU trying to muck up the system and take coaches back and do all the stuff. And I think all it's doing is galvanizing the Ole Miss team to say, hey, we can do this without you.
Look, more power to him. More power to him. It's an SEC school. That's all I care about right now. So good on them. I hope they do well. I hope they win every single down. I hope they score plenty of touchdowns and win the game. Good for them.
Mark Phillips says, what a mucker. Yeah, it is so, like, I know the schedule, it makes things like impossible in this situation. Correct. But the reality of the situation is Lane goes to LSU because he says LSU gives him a better chance to win a national championship. And the team he left is sitting in the Final Four.
Yep.
And they're the higher ranked team in this game tonight that goes to the national championship game. It's insanity. It's college football has flipped on its head. There's no Alabama. There's no Ohio State. There's no Clemson. There's none of those traditional big time schools in the finals. And I think it's awesome.
None of the guys that have been hanging around like the past however many years you want to put on it. I mean, Ohio State's always up there. Alabama, obviously, this century, you would say, since the early 2000s, since Saban got there, turned their program completely around and turned them into what they are now. They're out, which, in my opinion, they never should have been there in the first place. So take that for what it is. Georgia also been dominant, super dominant, out. And it's funny to me to watch the people comment on Instagram and whatnot. Like, oh, the SEC, it just means more, blah, blah, blah. As if for the last 15 years, SEC hasn't been the absolute dominant force in the college football just landscape. Like, yeah, dude, the last 2 years, it's been a couple down years. Congratulations, you guys are winning stuff. Good for you. Without acknowledging the fact that it's been SEC.
Yeah. Jay Birch, century. Yes. This century is only a couple decades old. So
yeah, this century. That's what I meant. Yeah, since 2000s.
So just to clarify, the 2000s are only 25 years old.
Right. So I understand, Birch, because in my head, 1995 is still 15 years ago, but it's not.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but we did turn the century whenever we, Y2K, that whole thing.
So tonight we have the team that got spurned by its head coach versus the team that was said they shouldn't be in the playoffs and Notre Dame should be there instead, even though they beat Notre Dame. And then tomorrow night we have Mark Cuban money versus Nike money.
My money's on Mark Cuban. My money's on Mark Cuban at this point. Dude, Curt Cignetti is awesome. He is fantastic. Like all the highlights of him just like at press conference and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm a winner. Google me. That's one of the coldest things I've ever heard a coach say the past 15, 20 years, at least. At least.
David Reed, Corey, we're no longer friends.
Sorry,
Clock Cutter, SEC is overrated. All the fans have left. Is Alabama from a decade ago. It's really been a Big Ten couple years, man. Mm-hmm. Michigan, Ohio State winning national titles, 2 Big Ten schools in the Final Four. And I live in Big Ten country. Penn State is a Big Ten school. I'm a Big Ten guy. You're an SEC guy. And they're the 2 best conferences in the country. But I am anxious to see what this whole new college football looks like with all the money coming in. Because if you can flip Indiana around from where they were 2 years ago with Cuban money, crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, the timeline on the whole Indiana thing is, first of all, Indiana's been a basketball school. I'm 48 years old. I didn't even know Indiana had a football team. Indiana's a basketball school. Hoosiers. It's a whole ass movie about what? Indiana basketball.
Yep. The only reason I knew Indiana had a football team is it was like a warm-up game for the bigger games in the Big Ten. And now it's not. Now it's you're going to get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Jody's sister went to the University of Indiana.
Well, there you
go. The next few years for OSU are looking rough. SIG is recruiting real talent. They will win the Natty with low talent. Imagine what they will do with talent. Yeah. And dude, those checks from Cuban are rolling in. Holy crap, man. It changes everything. Texas Tech and the oil money, Cuban and his money, Nike. Like, it's going to be Oregon and Texas Tech and Indiana. They're going to be major players in this thing.
We got chicken finger money down here. Chicken finger and ambulance chaser, injury lawyer. That's what I was looking for. Personal injury lawyer money.
Anderson, I think they should make different NCAA divisions depending on how much NIL money a school has. It will come to a point where there are maybe a dozen schools that run everything due to the money. But Andrew, we're coming out of an era where it was a dozen schools that ran everything because of their history and their name and the money because they had the best facilities. Like Alabama's facility is off the chain. LSU's facilities are off the chain. That's how they were recruiting all the best kids. And they were able to make them take the step to the NFL. That's why people went there. It's just the money has changed to where now you can directly recruit and pay the players to come to your school. So it's not like there was I would say there's actually more parity now with the Wild Wild West than there was 5 years ago with LSU and Alabama and Ohio State and Clemson. Like, there was really only 4 schools that could win it every year.
If you saw or at least part of the Coach O interview, or one of the Coach O interviews from a couple of weeks ago or whatnot, he said the only difference now is that we used to bring the money in through the back door, and now we can bring the money in through the front door. He said that's the main difference as far as that goes. So
Phil Knight has more money than Cuban and has made it his life goal to have Ducks win the national championship, and he's only running out of days.
Here's the thing. You're absolutely right. He 100% has done that, and they still have not done it yet.
Andrew Sten, as always, disagrees with me. But that's why I love him, man, because we can have these discussions. If you are a non-revenue sports athlete, the best option is to not go to a Power 5 school unless the Olympics are in your future. Scholarships are yearly now.
If that, dude, like I keep seeing, like, a couple of the LSU pages that I follow on Instagram, then they're updating as we get people signed in, which is, it looks like a transfer wire, which is what it is, but like for the NFL or professional baseball or whatever else, like it's the off season and, oh, we signed this person. Oh, we signed this person. That was never a thing. If you transferred in, you had to sit out a year.
Yeah. Well, I think that's enough of the college football talk. We'll get into some CrossFit stuff because we have a lot on the docket today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. But I will be watching the game tonight and the game tomorrow night and all the games over the weekend. I wanted to start with, I texted you last night. CrossFit put out a video of James Sprague taking his L2.
Which I still did not get a chance to watch it, but
it is awesome because it's a great illustration of what the L2 is about, I believe. And James is very open to being constructively criticized over his coaching. And so I'm just going to share like a 10-second piece of this so you can kind of get an idea of how the L2 went for James. All right.
They're better trainers.
Now we're not going to get the perfect position with low load. So just do your best here. What I want you guys to go through here.
Okay, pause. Take a breath, my friend.
Most people forget to drive. What they do is
Okay, pause. In life, do you feel like you talk a lot or too little?
I talk way too much. Yep.
It's a challenging and sometimes a scary environment for people, but everybody who shows up at these courses are remarkable.
For the front rack position, with a strict press, you're actually going to keep your elbows a little bit lower. So what I want to see, instead of pressing your elbows through as much as you can, find that hybrid position where your elbows. So if the floor is there, your forearm is there. So let me see that good front rack position.
Okay, pause. I want to say first, better.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to say that was 90 seconds to say get your elbows under the bar.
So that was awesome. So awesome to kind of watch him go through that. And I know when I first started coaching, I was a blabbermouth. Like I wanted to hit all the points, right? All the points. And she's like 90 seconds to say, get your elbows under the bar.
I check myself, especially with new people when I'm coaching, because I will do the same thing and I will stop and say, look, I know I'm throwing a whole lot of information at you right now. Let me back up. And this is the only thing we're going to focus on right now. That for me, that works a whole lot. Like, hey, whoa, let me stop because I know I just threw, I said 17 different words that maybe 5 of them made sense. Let me back up a little bit and let's break this down and get it to what's the most base thing that's going to help you right this second. And then we can move on from there.
Yeah. So that part of the video is the beginning of day 1. And it goes all the way through day 2. And then there's a dramatic difference in the way James coaches from the beginning of day 1 until you get to the end at day 2. And he even says at the end, like, I came in thinking like I knew a lot. And at the end of the weekend, like I had a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Great video. If you've not seen it, it's on the CrossFit YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's only 10 minutes long, but it's jacked full of like really cool moments. And I think they did an excellent job putting this out.
I can't wait. I'm going to do mine when my L1 expires in October. So I'm going to sign up and get mine renewed and go ahead and do that. It's going to be great.
I'm kind of bummed because my L1 expired 8 days ago.
Oh,
8 days ago. And I feel like a little piece of me is missing now, even though I don't use it at all. Like I don't judge anymore. I don't coach anymore. I don't do any of those things. So I couldn't justify paying the $1,000 to like do it again. Cause I've done it twice. I've had my L1 since 2015. It's 2025 now. So I had it for 10 years. And now all of a sudden I don't have it and it just feels weird.
So I am fairly certain that you could have gotten your L2, or you still can because you already have your L1. Like you don't have to go redo your L1. You can just go take that. You can just go take the L2 now. Which even though you're not coaching, like I'm certain it would still help you as an athlete, right? Cues, whatnot, things you don't think about necessarily, being able to move and whatnot. It's pretty good stuff. And yes, Ken Walters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it could have been a tax deduction, but like I need to spend my money on this venture. What I'm doing now, make sure like you have microphones, like Carolyn and Jamie are set up, all of those types of things. And that's where my priority is, because I don't need an L1 to do media. And I have the knowledge. I took the course twice, passed it both times, right? Jody, it would be a tax deduction for me because it would be a business expense. It would be related to what we do here. I could talk about it, things of that nature. So
yeah, I get for the money I get paid to coach, I get a whatever tax form it is at the end of the year as a independent, 1080 or whatever it is. And so like what I didn't realize that I could write off so much stuff to kind of offset that thing, because I'm, in addition to my actual job, I have another job, which is coaching. So like my registration fees, shoes, grips, like pick a thing. If it's CrossFit related, it is helping me become a better coach. Therefore, I can write it off. It's fantastic.
Yeah, 1099. Everybody's saying you can write off so many things.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. Thank you. You don't work. Bite it, CJ.
Yeah. Oh, that's correct for you. It's a tax deduction, not for me. I get it. Yes. Yeah. I don't know how you would correlate an L1 to cabinet making, selling. Probably
not. Probably not. I mean, you could figure some stuff out. So to answer Andrew's question, do those write-offs actually do a lot? I don't know yet, because last year I didn't, right? And it affected our tax return because I just get paid. Like no taxes get taken out and whenever they write me a check. But I have a very good friend of mine who has been telling me more than once, like, dude, write down everything you do. You have, I got digital receipts for everything. He said, and it's going to make a difference at the end of the year. So we'll find out here shortly.
Yeah. Like for my business, the media business, like I write off everything, right? Yeah. My travel to Knoxville to go to Syndicate, all that, the gas, the mileage, all that kind of stuff. Mileage is huge for events. Yeah. Plane tickets, hotels, whatever it takes.
Yeah. I got all of that this year. I got 2 travels, one to Arizona, one to Kansas City, Airbnbs. I mean, food, that you pick it, name a thing. So pretty excited about that. We'll see.
So the last little bit I wanted to talk about with James is, him and Hopper and Dallin and Justin, the Boys Interrupted, are really, like, I think, changing the face of the modern athlete. And I think it's reverting back to that old school approach where CrossFit and the athletes are working hand in hand. And I think what it's doing for them and their gosh, I don't know, image, their
I know what you're getting across.
They're getting more followers, they're getting more, like, because of the partnership they're creating with CrossFit. And I think it's really changing the game for the modern athlete. And if I'm an athlete and I'm watching them do their thing and how much CrossFit is using them in videos and exposure was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
But I think it's authentic. It has to stay. You can't be doing it just to get exposure. You have to be doing it because you love doing this stuff. And you could tell watching this video that James was really excited about learning more and becoming a better coach. And I think that is really, really cool. And if I'm an athlete, I would look at this stuff going, man, I need to do more of that instead of like hiding in my whole training all the time.
Correct. Well, so I feel like, anyway, part of the huge growth that we have was that you could see these games athletes, you could see the Rich Fronings and the Chris Spielers of the world and whatnot out there doing their thing on the competition floor. And then you could also see them doling out L1s, being on seminar staff. And that's a lot more relatable when they're out there and they're actually in the trenches and coaching and owning affiliates and whatnot. That's a whole lot more relatable knowing that, hey, they actually do both things at the time. So like James getting his L2, that's a fantastic thing. Hey, he's actually a coach. He's not just, like you said, buried in his place, doing his training, head down, moving along and whatnot. He's more like one of us. He's actually a normal dude. You know, he's got faults. He's not fantastic at everything. I mean, you just saw that she stopped him twice.
Yeah.
You know,
Stops him a lot more than twice, just to let you know.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I bet. James is like a giant puppy dog. He's chasing a car the entire time. And I just figured out, oh shit, I caught it. I don't know what to do now.
But not just James, like Dallin went and did the military based training with Dave and coached the classes. You know, Hopper's doing more and more media and working with everybody. Justin did those drop-ins all the way to Wadapalooza, where he stopped in at a different affiliate the whole way on his trip from, was it Utah Utah down to California?
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. Like, that's stuff that you would see Rich do, and Rich still does to this day. Like, he goes on a trip and he stops in at Mayhem affiliates along the way.
They'll plan their trip sometimes around that. Hey, we're going to stop at this place, you know, so we'll stay here instead of there because we can stop at this place since a Mayhem affiliate. Can you imagine just like going to your regular 8:00 class in the morning and there's Rich Froning and Angelo and or whoever else is with them, like just dropping in? That'd be fantastic.
Well, you know, I was thinking about it a little bit. When Justin first came on in the 2020 games and it was hanging on the runs with Matt and all that stuff, like, he was very likable, right? Here's this kid coming out of nowhere doing his thing. And then he won. And I found him not to be likable anymore. I feel like he kind of got in his own head and like what he had to do to retain the title. And was he going to like go on for years like Matt and the thing was he never won events. He never dominated the game. So everything was like by a fine line. Now he's doing all this stuff for the community. And like, he is so likable again. He has totally flipped the script for me on how I feel about him as an athlete and as a person.
Think about if 10 more games athletes did that. Not all of them, because not all of them are going to do it. It's not going to happen. But just 10 more, 4 or 5 more from the female side, and 3 or 4 more, whatever the case may be, from the male side. How much more engagement that's going to be? How much more forward facing that's going to be? How much just leading from the front? You know, hey, yeah, I'm a games athlete. Yes, I'm one of the fittest people on the face of the planet, but I am also a dude, right? The more you get to know these people, the more that you understand them better, the easier it is to follow, and the more engagement you're going to get from people who are not huge fans of the sport or even don't pay attention to the sport. You can say, you can look to, you know, your average person, whatever you want to call that, and go, yeah, that guy won the games last year, and he is, you know, he's at this affiliate over here. He's talking to these people, like, and because regular professional athletes don't do stuff like that, or if they do, it's for a photo op, right? Yeah. Not just dropping in to go coach just because I have time. I don't have anything else to do. I should do this. It's going to be good for everybody. Yeah, no, that's a fantastic thing, dude. And I think it will 100% help to grow, get people back in affiliates, you know, get numbers up. I mean, it's outstanding, dude.
Frida says that's really athletes paying it forward. It is, and it's awesome. Yeah. Sean in Oregon, I appreciate the elite CrossFit athletes interacting with the community. I think everybody does. Like, it just gives you a connection with them, like Corey's saying. Like, they're doing what you do. They're in the same style box, doing the same style gym. They're not in their garage. They're not in there. And not to say that like training can't be in your garage, but occasionally drop into a class. It makes a huge difference right? So
it humanizes them. It humanizes them.
Yeah. I wanted to do 2 more quick updates for sure. One, this is going to be super fast. A couple months ago, we talked about the IF3 Masters competition in Australia. And from the news of water is wet, the sky is blue, there was an independent company that was brought in to see what the deficiencies were. And they said, yes, there were plenty of deficiencies, not staffed well enough, not programmed right, things like that. But what I found kind of fascinating in the fine details of it all were that there were a lot of complaints that they found unfounded. And I think that's kind of funny. I love my Masters athletes. I love them to death. They are amazing people. I love hanging out and chatting with them. But we Masters athletes know how to complain. So when the wheels came off the bus, like, it was open season to complain about everything.
If complaining was an event at the Masters CrossFit Games, it would be the most tightly contested event of the weekend.
Yeah.
By far, because everybody's good at it.
Yep. And they all have their idea of how things should be and how it should be set up. And again, they are my people. I love hanging out with them. But it's hard to get them on a positive trajectory in their conversations at an event.
Well, this and that and this. There's so much of it, dude. I try not to get on that train to the best of my ability. I still do my fair share of bitching. I'm not gonna lie to anybody, but the amount of it that you hear, and it's just like, man. My favorite one is people complaining about the programming because they program stuff that they're not good at. Hey, bro, that's the entire point of the test, is to see what you are actually good at. So, like, I don't complain about the programming much.
The only time I feel that is warranted is at the games, because that test should be a balanced test to test the fitness. When you're talking like Legends or Masters Fitness Collective or any of those, it's their event. They can do whatever they want to do, and that's fine. But when you're talking the games, is the only time I give that like a lot of credence.
Right.
But the independent auditor did find plenty of things that the IF3 did incorrectly in that as well. So I don't want to.
This is my shocked face.
Right.
It's just my shocked face for that.
Yeah, not having like medical people on site was probably the most egregious. But anyway, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about is Pat Vellner announced on his Instagram. It was then reported by the Barbell Spin that, and I have his Instagram here, so I'll pull it up, that he had torn a rotator cuff in the lifting event at the final tour stop at. So you see where he loses the bar behind and he grabs his shoulder. He posted that. He says, been stacking lots of rehab days following this lift in Denmark. Torn rotator cuff, not great. Things happen. Lots of time to get back on track for 2026. Jack shoulders and rotator cuffs. So I wanted to research quickly because I know, like, in baseball, a torn rotator cuff is a devastating injury, right? And so, like, if I looked up, like, if an athlete has rotator cuff, what is the recovery time? And it appears to me by looking through his stuff that he did not get the surgical solution to this torn rotator cuff. And so he's attempting to rehab it. And if you're just rehabbing it, you can get back in like 4 to 6 weeks. If it requires surgery, you're talking 4 to 9 months.
Yeah.
So I was curious to see how this would affect the season, but he has been announced as a participant at Wodapalooza. So he must think that he is going to give it a go at Wodapalooza. And he's
good on him. Good on him if he is. Well, not if he is. Obviously, he is. I saw the same post you saw, that Wodapalooza posted that he's coming back and going to be competing. I've never had it. I know several people that did and had to have had the surgery for it and whatnot. And 6 to 9 months is that's a solid number. My wife had it. One of my best friends in the entire world, who is pretty decent high level masters athlete, had it, and he's probably still never going to be the same. And he's 56, and he's probably still never going to be as good as he was before it, just from the rehab and then just losing time.
Yep.
Right, losing time, not being able to do anything in the sling, the whole nine. Like, it's insane.
Well, I always go to our expert in the chat, and that's Shanna. She says, I have a fully torn I don't know why she's swearing at me.
Supraspinatus. I got you on that one.
On the right shoulder, and still compete at a high level. And she never got it repaired. I had surgery, and it took me almost 9 months. Torn rotator cuff, torn labrum, and a detached bicep.
Oh, that's bad.
No. But by looking at the video, I would say it's a partial tear. I have a partially torn rotator cuff. I can do most CrossFit things. The only thing that is affected is if the softball toss was at a competition, I'd be screwed.
I want to say maybe CJ was talking about it one morning or something like that most people, athlete types and non, probably have some sort of partial tear in their rotator cuff. If you've done anything physical in your entire life, that's a good, strong possibility.
Yeah, mine happened in a bar fight when I worked as a bouncer.
Hey, that's a solid story. I would tell everybody that. I would be at the games, but
yeah, I had to break up a bar fight and
Yeah, have you ever seen Roadhouse? It's basically the same thing.
It was the worst fight I'd ever had to break up in all my days of bouncing. What you do in your 20s when you think you're invincible is just ridiculous. Yeah, I leapt, dove over a table. It was a football player going ballistic. We ended up wrestling, and that's how it popped, and I ended up in the hospital that night. But yeah, I thought I was Superman, dove over a table, knocked over drinks everywhere, took the guy to the floor, put his leg in a chicken wing, trying to get him to stop. Yeah, it was bad.
Ground and pound, baby, ground and pound.
Yeah. Solid story from Jody and Vicky. I would be at the games, but I'm not in shape and I'm old. That's what David said.
Doug's
like Captain America, so I don't.
And he's 3 years older than I am, I think. Like it's not much. I don't want to hear that shit, Doug. That's nonsense. Technically, he's actually been to games way more times than I have, because I haven't even gone as a spectator, and he's been like 2 or 3 years at least.
He's 1 year younger than me.
There you go. 1 year younger than you, 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
That much. So I would be 49 in April.
It's just trying to keep up with that wife and kids, man.
Well, it's a lot to keep up with. His kids are fantastic.
So yeah, hopefully he gets back, because there's been a lot of speculation. Is he going to do the game season this year?
I guess we'll find out if he signs up for the Open. I feel like that's a pretty easy tell.
Yeah. There seems to be some speculation that he is going to come back and do one more year in the CrossFit game season. It just sucks that he tears the rotator cuff going into it.
No. Oof. I mean, it could. I won't say it couldn't be that bad, but because when Brandon tore whatever he tore in his elbow or whatnot doing the snatch at the games, like he competed, he just ibuprofened up and stayed the rest of the weekend. Pat did the same thing, right? Like,
yeah.
Threw that out. Brandon's was pretty gnarly to watch because his elbow went the wrong direction.
Judy is now coaching. Wow, that's awesome.
Good
When
for
she was
her.
in the chat in our stuff way back in the day, she wasn't even CrossFitting. She
was
just
Orange
was
Theory.
like hanging out with the CrossFit Talk, and then she joined a gym, and now yeah, wow, that's awesome.
Good for her.
Yeah, so cool, so cool. Anything else you want to talk? I have about 2 minutes left before I have. Do you have the same birthday with Tristan?
April 17th, Tristan, you tell me. 2 days after tax day. What is not awesome is being
What is not awesome is being the least fit in the family.
Dude, their son, the diver, holy smokes, dude. That dude looks like a statue. He looks like a Greek god. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, my sister was a diver when we were kids, and she was really, really good. And when I watch the videos of their son diving, it is like I'm speechless sometimes at how little splash he has when he goes in the water. Like the form is amazing, and he dives for Ohio State here. So yeah. Tyler deadlifted 515 conventional and 610 on a trap bar. Yep, I do that, and my back would be laying on the floor. I'd have to assemble it back together.
I deadlifted 500 once. And if I never do it again, I will be perfectly fine. I was messed up for 4 days afterwards.
Yeah, I did it once in high school, and then when I was doing the CrossFit thing, my back squat was like 100 pounds more than my deadlift. Yeah, because my back just can't support the deadlift, but it's fine when I'm doing a squat.
Jeez, man.
So I have the strength. I just don't have the back to be able to lift. And I did hit 400, but it wasn't pretty.
400 is not terrible. I can still rep out 415, or I say I can. I haven't in quite some time. We don't program a whole lot of heavy deadlifts. So I don't say it's a party trick. I mean, it's definitely core strength and all that good stuff, but it's not something I'm super focused on.
Yeah, I don't really know what my true back squat was when I've not missed a back squat since 2012, 2013. I've never missed one, so I don't even know. I've never made it to the point where I've had to drop it.
I don't think I have. I don't know if I've ever failed like a 1 rep max attempt. My last one was 415, and it felt like super nice. Like I'm probably a 435, 450 back squatter if I had to guess. It's not something I work on. I'm not so much worried about absolute strength as I am just being able to consistently move. Like I'm strong. I'm going to be strong. That's not really going anywhere as long as I maintain what I'm doing. I do 1 squat cycle a year, usually right after the opens finish.
Yeah, the highest I hit CrossFitting and back squat was about like 480. But again, I've never truly maxed it out. By the time you get up to those, like you need a lot of time, and like we never gave ourselves enough time to get up there. By the time like we got up in those areas, like you're running out of the lifting time, and now it's time for the Metcon.
Yeah.
Nothing like lifting 480 and then going to a Metcon and trying to use your legs.
So when I first started CrossFit in 2018, I was that guy because I had been running a whole lot who like loved to. I was like, if running was programmed, I was like, yeah, cool, let's run. And we did a mile for time one day, and it was the first part of it was a back squat workout. And I don't remember what the back squat workout was, but I remember my mile for time at 6:21 was the fastest I had ever run in my entire life. That was fun. That was good times right there.
Yeah. Well, I hate to end this early, but I actually truly have a meeting in 5 minutes that I have to get up and get a dress shirt on for. So with that, guys, so awesome being here today. Love you all. Don't forget, Thirdzy helps us put this show on. Go support them by going to thirdzy.com/Jazzy and order your Thirdzy sleep and recovery aid. It is well worth the money. With that, I will see everybody tomorrow. Maybe the cowboy will be back. Maybe he won't. He never tells me either. I don't even know until I come in here, just so you know. With that, we'll see you all next time on Lunch with the Clydesdale. Peace.